Unplanned pregnancy? Abortion pills are safe, effective, and can be delivered to your home no matter where you live. Find out more at plancpills.org. That's plancpills.org.
Jackie Kashian, Laurie Kilmartin.
Laurie, I have thousands of dollars worth of equipment. I'm
Are
on
we
my
recording?
phone sideways.
Yes, we are.
We certainly are. We certainly
Okay.
are. I'm just going to open it up with that. Anyway, Matt.
Yeah,
do you want to go see Sarah Milliken on November 1st or 2nd? At the
I
Wiltern?
think it's not November 1st and 2nd. I thought it was 14th or 15th or something. But yes, I do. Because I made a note that I was home and when she was here. So
Yeah,
yes, I would like
to see that. I had lunch with Matt Kashian and he told me the dates. So I thought those were the dates,
Oh.
but you're probably right. And
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Good morning. Sunday morning.
Morning.
Days and days. Kyle has days to fix whatever is going on with my computer situation. So,
Woo!
So, here's the thing. This is a podcast, and sometimes both of us are on the road. And so we're both on the road. The audio sucks, and there's nothing we can do about it. Fucking turn it off if you don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what? Go to Joe
Throw
Rogan
down.
Experience where they have a studio.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're still doing road work. So
if
fuck off.
anyone had offered us $300,000 to go to Riyadh, we would have a lot of extra money. Would you have taken the gig?
It's weird because I paid attention to this about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then I was like, well, I guess it's just slipping under the radar. And then it didn't. Like this week, it really did explode on social media. And, it's not good at all.
No.
At all.
No. But it's and I'm not surprised at the comics who are doing it.
I'm
right?
surprised. Someone wrote, I'm surprised by 2 of them. And I was like, yeah, I could, you know what? Some people, I think some comedians do not give a shit. And some of them are so focused on money. Like I understand the focus on money. And I understand, wait, I just do one set and I get $1 million. Yes. Like I get it. I understand that because there's so many sets for no money. You don't know where the industry's going. It could be a life-changing amount of money. And yet, then I think, but I look at everyone, I'm like, but you could probably make what the Saudis are paying you in 6 months of touring because you're so famous. You can make it. It's not like winning a lottery ticket. You can actually earn that money if you wanted to. So I don't know, Jackie. I don't know what my number would be, but I'm sure all of us have a number where you go, okay, all right, you got me.
Well, when I first heard of it, all I thought was it's a corporate.
Right. Yeah. Right.
They're telling you what to say and what not to say.
Exactly.
Like every corporate we've ever done. And then you look at the people who'd said no. Otsko and Birbiglia and
Shane Gillis.
Shane
and
Gillis.
Shane Gillis.
Stavros.
Yep.
So
Shane Wang, I think, too.
yeah, and I think Leslie Rayo also said no.
Yeah. I like that Otsko put the offer in the
Hell
I
yeah.
know. That was pretty badass. Just to go, this is what I said no to, and this is what all these people said yes to.
Yes, and it was she had crossed out the total and Todd Berry replied, I'm gonna need to see the redacted number, please.
Even if you add .00 for the cents, it's still a lot of zeros. You're like, okay, maybe 3 of those spaces are .00, but it's still a fucking lot.
Right. So it's funny because when Otsko posted that, I said, because I have not been tested in so many things, right?
I know.
And
Yes.
but I would say that I think I don't know who I would have called to ask if I should do it, right? Maybe if I'd seen who else was in it.
Yeah.
And
the most insufferable green room of all time, that festival.
Oh my God.
I would rather kill myself.
Yeah.
who made the comment? They were like, what if they kept them all?
Also me. It'd be the funniest answer.
Right. I mean, it would really clean up
We
the
lose 2
industry.
good comics.
If that. It's 2 okay comics. I mean,
we lose
if
1 good comic and 1 okay comic.
There's some really good comics. That's what's shocking to me.
who are the 2 that you were shocked at?
It's but also like some people just, I don't know, they're just, I think stand-up comedy breeds a sort of, oh my God, I'm about to be living in a car mentality. And I understand, even if you look at them and you're like, you have so much, they don't think they do. And they always feel like they're a couple gigs away from,
Hey,
total poverty. Like, I understand that feeling. I
I
think
do
it's a real
not.
one.
Here's what Aunt Jackie would like to tell you. You have an opposable thumb. You can get a different fucking job. Oh, it's all I can do. All I can do is me. No, guess what? You're alive. You can bend over, you can sweep. If you can lean, you can clean, as Maria Bamford says. Don't be a piece of shit. I mean, the thing is I get working for dirtbags. And I think that's what you're saying. It's like we've all worked for dirtbags, and that's just part of the gig. I mean, when I worked at Kinko's, I wasn't working for the nice, even the guy who started Kinko's turned into a douche.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so I get that, but it's just like it drives me nuts when anybody says, it's all I can do. If I don't do stand-up comedy and live on the west side and have a one-bedroom apartment with a view of the ocean, and you're like, why don't you suck a dick? Because I hate you. They make me, they infuriate me.
I know. I'm not. I guess I wasn't implying that they're saying that's all they can do. I'm just saying because to me, it's like, how could you not consider everything that this, because especially because Atsuko said it. Wait, let me just finish. It's coming from that crown prince. This isn't like a company in Saudi Arabia that just exists and is having a comedy festival. It's
Right.
coming from the
Right.
guy. As somebody else pointed out, they jailed a Saudi comic for like 16 years for tweets.
Right.
So, and you're like working for that guy, and you've agreed not to say anything negative about a country that is only, it's a country of comedy premises. They don't let women say anything. They don't let gay people live. They don't let anyone do anything, and you're not supposed to mention it. That is bananas, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get into figure out, like, why would these people who I think are normally empathetic or smart or good, do that. And I think it's that mentality of, I will never have enough money, and that's all.
I
I'm just
don't.
trying to, like, extend my brain a little bit, so I don't think someone's a piece of shit when actually maybe they're coming from a different
They're
mentality.
mentally ill, is what you're saying. And so, because here's the thing, what I will say is that when Atsuko pointed that out, I had
Yeah.
not thought of it. And I think of myself as a relatively intelligent person. I'm
Yeah.
incredibly arrogant. I think I'm a genius. But the thing is I think that that's an excellent point that she made that I did not think about. Because if
Mhm.
you go in thinking, well, it's corporate, it's fine. But when Atsuko points out, you're not working for a corporation, you're working for that guy who chops people's heads off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when when I went to Saudi Arabia to do an armed forces entertainment gig,
Mhm.
there were no rules because I was on the base.
Right.
But we were encouraged to wear headwear and the over things, the Obi-Wan Kenobi. They have names. I can't remember them. Whatever.
Head coverings. That's all. Yeah.
No, we wore the whole outfit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And it was me and April Macy.
Yeah.
She made that look good. And I looked like my grandmother coming straight from Armenia. And yeah, but it was like even the stuff that I made fun of when I came home, I got comments on my YouTube channel. I've had to delete a great deal of stuff because it's in the Horcrux album, right? And special.
Uh-huh.
And I just do a joke about how when you go into Saudi Arabia, they ask you what religion you are. And then there's a tiny box hoping that you'll be tricked. And the joke is hoping you'll be tricked into writing the word Jew. So they can take you away. Because, in Saudi Arabia, if you've been to Israel, your passport doesn't work
Wow.
because they
That's
don't recognize Israel as a country. Or that was true 10 years ago. I have no idea.
There's a couple of Jewish comics, performing.
Right.
So, well, and obviously. They'll be waved in.
Well, we had to get DOJ special passports.
Yeah. If they've
They
been to
they
it.
just
Yeah.
they gave them to all of us, even though I had never been to Israel. They gave them to all of us
Yeah.
just to make sure that it was a clean slate. And with the new digital passports, you're not going to be able to hide where you were.
Right.
And so I mean, it was weird. It was like Fluffy. It's weird that Fluffy went just because. That guy's a big corporate guy. So he,
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't even think about it. And he was just
I
like,
don't think
hello, payday.
I know there are just some comics you just don't think that way. You know what I mean? Like they're a business and it's like, check. Okay, let's go. And I'm not like that. And a lot of comics that I like aren't like that, but I know that those aren't I don't know. I just don't think of them as bad people, but I just think their mentality is very business and it's not.
No, I
Although,
don't think that they're bad people for doing this festival. I think that
yeah,
they're just happen to pick all bad people. Because I think that some of them are actually bad people.
a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So but I don't think that this made them the bad people. I think that it came from the other angle, you know?
The the
And
the other thing is like with the censorship, like sometimes you think, okay, well, when I get up in front of the audience, I'm talking, and it's not the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or whatever. It's not whoever. If you're on a lineup with a bunch of sex predators, and you're up on stage, that's a reprieve for certain members of the audience who just showed up to a gig, right?
that
That's
has
what I
always
mean.
been, yes.
It's always good to go into enemy territory and try to convert people secretly into, honestly,
Okay.
you and me, our whole lives, we've gone up in front of people who think women aren't funny. And by the end of the set, they're like, oh, there's funny. So we're used to that conversion sort of mentality of like, all right, let's do it. So I can even see going, we have gay comics here. There's Jewish comics here. There's women comics here in their heads. All right, I can do, you haven't seen this, and they probably haven't. But is the audience just regular Saudis? Is the audience Saudi women from the street? Is it gay Saudis, or is it other members of the royal family? Is it elites anyway who aren't going to change their mind or give a fuck? They just want to be part of the whitewashing. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't think they're talking to the people, and they're
No,
definitely
and
not
they're
talking to slave wage earners who are probably working 2 10-hour shifts a day.
right. They're not talking, and I think I'm mixing up Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. I was in Kuwait, and most of the regular workers, like the people who do a lot of the grunt work, are from the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Same with
And
Saudi Arabia. Same.
they take away their passports when they come.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and they're and I think this is Kuwait. I don't know if it's true in Saudi Arabia. To be a citizen in Kuwait, you have to be related to the royal family.
Wow. I don't know if the Saudis are like that, but it seems like everything Kuwait does, Saudi does worse. So that makes sense.
Well, and I will say this is that Saudi Arabia sending away 2 generations, it's been 2 or 3 generations of youth to get educated in England and the States and all these European countries and the United States and Canada has brought home these young men and women who were allowed to drive and who were allowed to think for themselves. And it has affected some change within their world, which is one of the reasons why they're trying to whitewash everything. They're like, we're going to still keep the things we're going to keep, but we also really liked going to see comedy. We liked, having,
Oh,
so,
right.
but I will say that I didn't think about what you said is the sort of the subversive angle of the things that we do. Because I think
Yeah.
to some extent it's true. I've always done stand up, and I think, I don't know this, but I believe this to be true, is that you've always done stand up because you love stand up. It
Uh-huh.
didn't occur to you, like if someone had said, well, you can't do stand up because you're a woman. We've had that said to us various ways, but just at different venues,
Mhm.
not as a governmental decision. You
Right,
don't get
right,
to
right.
do stand up. But on a one-to-one level, I've had any number of people tell me I don't get to do stand up because we're not putting women up tonight.
The
Or there's
one
no two women on one show or some
Right. I
fucking thing.
mean, one of the things that made me want to do stand up was going to stand up and seeing men tell me what women are, that we go to the bathroom in pairs, that we love to shop, and me going, "Well, are there no women speaking back to this? All right, I'll be one." And so that's kind of always been my attitude, I think underlying attitude for stand up, you know?
Right.
And so I can see thinking, all you've never seen a gay comic? Okay, you're going to see one. And I'm going to talk about being gay. And you're going to hear it.
Hmm.
I mean that I can see that, but that's also but also it's like massive amounts of money. I don't know. And since it wasn't offered to me, I can't tell you what I would have done or how much it would have cost them to tell me yes. But money is meaningless to them. It's a game
Right.
to them, but to us, anyone living here, some of these are life-changing amounts. Like Tim Dillon got offered 375,000. Now, to me, I'm paying off a lot of debt. Like I'm good after that. For Tim Dillon, I'm guessing he makes so much money from his Patreon that that's not crazy money. It's fine, right? It's another month's worth of income.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I have no idea if he deliberately torched the opportunity by saying, I'm being paid to look the other way. Cause literally that's what you are being paid to do is to look the other way.
And he said it
And
out loud.
he said it out loud instead of just like mumbling it in the green room. And it kind of exposed everybody else going, oh, you are. I mean, even one of you guys admits it. So you guys all know you're being paid to look the other way. And because he said it out loud beforehand, they canceled his gig, which
Well, right.
he might have got more goodwill from that than, had he
I
gone.
I I haven't heard his podcast, and I will not. I
I
want
hear clips.
right. I haven't even heard the clips, but Judd Apatow told me the other night that one of the things he said before that or right around when he said I'm being paid to look the other way was he said people say to me Saudi Arabia has slavery. Well, what do you don't know that I'm against slavery. I'm not against slavery, and you're like. All right, douche nozzle. I mean, I
He's
know that
being
he's riffing.
funny.
No, I
Yeah.
know he's riffing and he's being funny, but he's also admitting that he's not against slavery.
I
I
don't
mean,
know what he's admitting. I think he's just trying to get laughs and be chaotic. That's
I,
my thing.
well, the, there is chaos and there is trying to get laughs and
Mhm.
there is any kind of, that was a joke, which
Uh-huh.
is when you say, when I say I want to put the Heritage Foundation and send them into the sun, um, I, I dream of a giant slingshot, right? I mean, there's an absurdity to that. Y- you're not
Uh-huh.
going to tell me that Tim Dillon isn't okay with slavery. I mean, to some extent, we're
I don't.
all
I
okay with slavery,
I don't. Yeah, I mean, if you have an iPhone, you're okay with slavery
right?
because child
That's what
labor.
I'm saying. Is
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
saying. So
Gotcha. Gotcha.
when the joke that I make about my merch is that I'm willing to wear toddler made clothes, but I'm not willing to sell toddler made clothes, which is a lateral move. It is not necessarily a step in the right direction, but it is a sideways, it is
Yeah.
stopping that starfish's, horrible existence. Whatever. I don't go there. But I mean, just there's an acknowledgement of the fact that we live in our fishbowl of privilege
Yeah.
that is not being acknowledged in his case, or in not just his case. It's
Uh-huh.
not like I don't know anything about him. I saw him do stand up one time at the Stand, and
Uh-huh.
he was slamming trans high school kids, and he walked an old black couple. Hi. Jesus Christ, man. Those guys have heard it all. And they're like, we're good. And I wanted to go, hey, man, I'm next. I got some jokes about cars. Anybody? No?
Jackie, you know my policy now is I don't pay attention to anyone's act on stage. They say what they say, as long as they're not sex predators. I've genuinely decided to limit my focus of who I can't stand. And if someone, if someone's sh- shitty on stage, whatever, that's your time on stage. I guess
No,
your
no,
audience.
everybody gets to do their time. I
Yeah,
don't have a problem with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm not booking the room and I'm not
Right,
staying in the room while they're talking.
right.
So those are my defense mechanisms. But I'm not gonna not like if you were using the N-word and saying racist stuff or incredibly misogynistic stuff, I'm not gonna not say, I don't enjoy that. Fuck that guy.
hmm
Right?
hmm
So it's just, I mean, even Jesselnick, who arguably is the funniest of the darkest male comics, right? It's weird to me that he's constantly talking about fucking 12-year-olds. I'm
I
not
think
saying that he doesn't do it better than everybody else and that there isn't
You
hilarity
see, I
there.
thought it was more dead baby stuff as opposed to.
No, it was, well, the last time I saw him, it was all fucking 12-year-olds.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I stand by the fact that if I'm not enjoying your stand-up comedy, I'm just going to leave the room.
Uh-huh.
And you get to do your 20 minutes or your hour or
Uh-huh.
whatever you get to do. I'm but I'm not going to say anything but, yeah, I didn't like that. Just
Uh-huh.
because I also uh didn't watch The Godfather 2 because I thought it would be super mean. So, I mean, I'm going to, I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about that with all entertainment. There are books I don't read. There are movies I don't watch. There's TV I can't, because scary movies scare me, and mean comedy makes me feel bad about myself.
Mm. Well, uh, back to Riyadh because
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, please. I've
Uh,
learned a lot during this conversation, quite honestly, about what I've no, seriously, about what I've heard
yeah.
and what I haven't heard, or what I've thought about and what I did
Yeah.
not think about when I heard about the offer. Because I was like, well, I would do that. It's just a corporate. It's fine. And then Oscar said that thing about the prince, and I was like, ah,
Yeah.
you
It's weird.
shouldn't do
Like
it.
if
Yeah.
I also can totally understand, like there's one that comics is a lesbian mom. And I can understand her going, "Hey, they've never this is not allowed in Saudi Arabia. So if I talk about my life,
And
that's
according
the
to the
thing."
list, she's able to talk about being a lesbian mom.
Yes. That could be important in a way,
Well,
right?
when I do corporates, they often say, "Don't talk about anything sexual. Don't talk about
Right.
anything to do with drugs. Don't talk about anybody's sexuality."
Yeah.
So, and then I go on stage shaking like a leaf because I think I'm going to get Tourette's. And
Yeah.
but
Yes.
so in this case, the rules as listed from the document that Atsuko posted, you just couldn't talk about their government and their leaders and their culture.
Right. And there's ways to talk about it without mentioning it. There's ways to just do jokes about feminism. You're not talking about Saudi Arabia, but you're talking about feminism. There's ways to talk about all the things they told you not to talk about,
They
but
didn't say don't talk about feminism. They just said don't
right,
talk about feminism in Saudi Arabia. Don't talk
right.
about our rules
There are
and laws. Yeah.
particular rights, but there's ways around it. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I do think depending on who the audience is, that also is like revolutionary to hear there. But it's it's not billed as a revolutionary comedy festival. It's just gobs of money. I guess if people were doing it for maybe less money, it would be less gross because you're like, yeah, some people are bringing stand up that they've never heard before, talking about their lifestyles that are illegal in that country, and that's a big deal. But if they're also getting 10 million for it, it's like, okay, it's not the most selfless act you've ever, you know.
Right. But then you're standing next to Louis C.K. and you're just like, oh, photo op. And, you know, To some extent,
I would duck. They would go on the count of 3, cheese. At 2, I duck, and I'm not in the picture.
well, I mean, because it's a Jeffrey Epstein moment, you know? You're just like,
Yes, I know.
all of a sudden there's pictures of you
Chris
with bad
Tucker
guys.
has been on Epstein. He's in the Epstein files, and he's one of the comics.
Chris Tucker?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of him. I don't know him, but
well, a great movie star, but he sort of faded, into I don't know, Epstein Island. I guess I'm never sure.
right. They
Kept
report
up with
they did release it on their 6 pages
Yeah, yeah.
out of 885,000, something like that.
Jesus Christ.
That it's like it'd be like if somebody went through all of my notebooks from 1984. I was like, did I write a joke about pedophilia back in the the 1900s? Or, I mean, I can safely tell you that I've never said the N word on stage or even in anger.
Mhm.
I think back in the 80s or 90s, I have sang along to songs, and I have I might have
Kanye West put a lot of us in a predicament.
But yeah, so I think that my notebooks are probably pretty safe. Plus, who's reading that scrawl? I don't know. Can you read that my writing?
Mhm.
I was talking to some comic about the old notebooks. Because I think it was 15 odd years ago, Mark Maron said that he's never thrown away any of his notebooks because he feels like there'll be a library, that there'll
Yeah.
be someone who goes through them. And I was like, I wonder if that's why I'm keeping them. It seems unlikely, right? So,
I haven't thrown any of them away either.
yeah.
I have
And
them all.
and famously, I've said it before on the show, Maria throws them out in front of me.
Oh my God.
And I'm but the
How
first time
what
she did it, I said, "Can I have it to throw it on eBay just real quick?" And she said, "No, watch me do it."
a what a freedom. I mean, they're gone.
It's a
That's
real
nice.
freedom. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and the rest of us are hoarders, right? We're just
Mhm.
keeping them and keeping them. Every once in a while, like I used to carry like a huge big one, like with a spiral, like that you take to college classes, real thick,
Okay.
like 1 inch thick. And man, when I made the jump to moleskins, that was life changing.
Yeah.
Because the other thing, it's satisfying to finish a notebook, right? And if your notebook's too thick and you have it for 2 years, oh my God, right?
I have most of my notebooks for 3 years.
Oh, I have mine for 6 months usually.
Yeah, because I do you use pages from the back for set lists?
I use pages in the back to put gum.
Oh. Do you keep the gum? Is that important? No,
Um,
I'm kidding.
yeah, I mean it's in the back of the book. I just fold a page over and that's where the gum is. Yes.
And you keep it in the you don't throw it away?
I guess if I'm bored and I notice it, yeah, but usually it's right before I go up on stage. I put the gum in the one of the pages, fold it over, and then it flattens. You don't notice it, Jackie.
This is a glimpse into some sort of pre-stage ritual that I didn't know that was happening. Kilmartin's chewing gum out there, you guys. Who knew?
I'm in the wild chewing gum. Yeah, so I have good breath, so it gets anything that's loose out in my mouth. It helps you. It's like a little bit of toothbrushing before the show.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I got the COVID shot.
Which one'd you get?
Pfizer. The
Okay,
Nova whatever isn't out yet.
I know.
Um,
I got Pfizer. I got Moderna on the 5th of September, and I will get Novavax as soon as it's out. I'll probably do it right before Thanksgiving because holiday time and stuff. But Novavax has a longer protection. So I'll just be doubled up through the holidays, and then the Moderna will fade, and Novavax will hang in there.
oh, interesting. I didn't know
I'm
you
never
could get
not
two.
boosted, Jackie. Never not boosted.
You gotta be boosted. Never not boosted.
Hmm.
Um, I did a lot of shows locally, which I think locally I made like $700 this week.
Not bad.
That's all right.
That's what I made
Um,
this weekend doing spots. at the Broadway.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, New York, you can make that every week,
I know.
and and you have the good job, the good day job. But $700 for in town LA
Oh
work is
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did a weird country club in Calabasas.
Oh, tell me about that. I heard that was controversial in the chat. I try not to look at too many details.
Yeah, whatever. It was I you know how I don't know anybody? So I got let me I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to be mean, so I got these two guys mixed up.
Gotcha. That is not you know what? That's not unprecedented. I think
Yeah.
that happens a lot.
Right. But one of them irritates the hell out of me on stage. And the other one I've never seen on stage, but when I talked to him off stage, he seemed like he was probably funny.
I think I know which one is which category
Same.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's and he's not, neither one of them seem to be bad people. I mean, they just seem
No,
and
very nice. Very
yeah.
nice.
So the whole week was just people saying, "Hey, this person's more famous than you. I'm going to have them close," which feels like a very 1992 thing to say to anybody,
I know. It's so
es-
weird. I know.
especially in LA, where I'm just like, "So what you're saying is you're going to give me money and then I can leave after my set?
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing at all. I
Yeah.
win."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the room at the Calabasas thing was interesting because it was just one of those weird conference-y kind of rooms or
Oh,
like a pancake
like a
lunch
hotel
kinda.
room? Yeah.
Yeah. And they were nice enough, but they were too well lit and the
Yeah.
audio, the sound system was kinda goofy and, there was a buffet that they were excited to offer me, and I was like, "Thank you very much. I'm good." And I did go to the fanciest Rite Aid in the world, which is
Yeah.
it's weird. It was kind of right by my old acupuncturist. I was trying different acupuncturists. And there was one out in Calabasas, and it was by the fanciest. It's called the Commons. It's like a strip mall thing.
Yeah.
And the it might be the only Rite Aid that's still open and nothing's locked. And there's a
Interesting.
self-checkout. Yeah. They're real sure of
I
themselves,
I
is what I'm saying. Yeah.
I feel like as a comic, the tide has turned when you don't have to eat the free meal that's offered. Like when you can turn down a buffet, you are not an opener, right? Like there's a point in comedy where you actually need the food that
Yeah.
they give you at these gigs. And
Yeah.
then when you don't need it because you have food at home,
Mhm.
that's they're on the swing.
Right, and yet you're still drawn to the food.
I know. Well, it's food, but
Right.
that's more for
That's humanity.
food. Yeah.
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Woo.
Okay. We're back. And our comic of the week this week. So her name is Elyssa Phillips.
Woo.
Okay. And there are 50 spellings of Elyssa. So let's just be clear. Elyssa.
Okay.
One L, two S's, E, and a Y. Okay. Phillips. There's also two spellings of Phillips. She's a double L. Right?
And
So
is that her
single L,
handle?
Elyssa, double L, and Phillips. Am I correct?
Correct. Now the only
Yes.
thing you got to worry about is the Elyssa. Her Instagram handle is Elyssa Amp. So ELYSSAMP. Go follow.
Elyssa MP,
Yeah,
basically.
that's the
Is
one.
she a member of parliament in addition to doing stand-up
I
comedy?
don't believe she is.
No, she's
but,
military police.
she aspires. And she's very funny. She also she kicked ass on the Disney protests. Like she was leaping across the pedestrian crosswalk and getting cars to honk. I was like, my God, this is an energy I haven't had since I was a child in like a skipping contest, right? And she's a full-grown woman, just putting it all out there. And then she did a comedy competition. She did pretty well in it. She just posted how fun it was to do well. And somebody, I'm not saying who, because I think they just had a bad day, but a major headliner quote tweeted her and was like, comedy contests are a ripoff. Nobody should do them. It's like, yeah, but just let someone be happy. Because
Right.
you know what? Anything that you can brag about in this fucking dumb industry now, you need to get spots. We're all
Right.
trying to get spots. And if you're above the level where you're hustling to get spots, then just remember some people aren't. And they won a comedy competition. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's
That's good.
nothing.
Yeah. Um, Virginia Jones came in second in the Portland one.
Oh, okay.
And she said it was great because she moved back to Portland and then had to reintroduce herself to everybody, but she's
Yeah.
essentially famous there now, and so she can get up every night. It's pretty great. She said it's pretty sweet. Yeah,
Ooh.
we're gonna do a
Well,
Patreon episode with her. And you guys, if you
mhm.
go to the Patreon, there's like over 30 half-hour episodes with different women comics who've been comics of the week, where we interview such comics. And so it's at
And
the
that
$5 level, I think, right?
it only costs you $5 a month, and that again, we're not gonna guilt you, but, you know,
We
for
could use the
free. You're
cash.
taking this for 10 years for free? Really?
That's it.
Please, pay a little bit.
Hmm. And so what else did I do? I did Largo, and that was the Chris Fleming and Friends.
Oh, cool.
And
Did he
Chris
pack it out?
Fleming, what? Oh
Did
yeah.
he pack it out?
Oh,
Wow.
it was so packed, and he made them laugh. Okay, so the And Friends, what has been the format when you've done the And Friends?
I think everyone does it differently.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Patton and Mark Maron do a little bit. They kind of host it. They do a little bit up front, and then they do the most of their set at the end.
Tig Notaro as well, Sarah Silverman as well. I know Chris Fleming is doing a new special in like a
Mhm.
month,
Okay.
so he has to work on all this stuff, and so he did he did probably, I don't know, 25, 35 minutes before me. He opened. He
Right.
had them in such a frenzy.
Oh my
They
god.
were in a frenzy. And I turned to Judd Apatow and Flanagan, and I said, "Wait, I'm following this? This is what I'm everyone wants to watch my 20?" And, and so I went up and it was fine. I've been working on the new opener for the album, and it did really well in Bloomington. It killed at Largo. Sierra Madre last night, I changed some of the words. Super irritating. Just because I wanted to clarify something. I thought it needed to be clarified,
Right.
and it might not have been broken. Anyway, but
Mhm. I gotcha.
yeah, so and then Judd went up, and I went around to watch his set,
Mhm.
and because Chris did another 10, I think, in between us, and so I got up. I got there. They had laughed so hard. The audience, it smelled like everyone should brush their teeth. It was so I was like, "Wow, this is an excited audience right here." And there was a young man who, as I was going back to watch it, he came out of the bathroom and he was, very socially awkward looking, and he said, "I just wanna say that that was a great set, that was really funny." And I said, "Thank you very much." And then we stared at each other for another 10 to 15 seconds, and
Oh.
he goes, "I don't really have anything else to say." And I said, "I could go at length about my set and examine it, but I'm not going to." And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "We're a little socially awkward." He said, "We are." And then he went away. And then
I
I went
love
away.
the autism small talk, Jackie. You're good at.
I'm doing what I can to get out there. And so hard. But that was really fun. And then yeah, and I also did Dynasty. I think we recorded the night of Dynasty.
Oh yeah.
But I spent like an I was so tired on Tuesday, the night of Dynasty, where I'd had like an eye appointment, then a dental appointment,
Mhm.
and then I did Dynasty, and then I did Jackie and Laurie. The next night, um, I got the COVID. Andy got COVID and the flu together,
Yeah.
and so I got the COVID boost on Wednesday. There's still a knot and a giant red mark,
Wow.
and so it is slowly integrating into my person. and it's super sore. So last night, everyone who lives east, all of my friends who live east of Burbank came to the show because it
Cool.
was in Sierra Madre. And my friend Brandon put his arm around me and then just slapped that arm a half dozen. I was like, hey, man, I know we're friends, but don't beat up the arm that has the COVID shot, please. So,
Let's see. I had spots at the Broadway at Friday and Saturday, and
nice.
it's the Jewish high holidays. It's Rosh Hashanah, all
Right?
that. I don't know exactly when everything's fall, but clearly they're home celebrating. All right, they're not in the audience. Not only
Right.
that, but we don't have any Canadians coming to this country either. So the audience is full of American Christians, and not pretty, gang. Not pretty. We need everybody back in the clubs, please.
Bit of a wrestling match with the audience?
A little bit, just a little aghast at a couple jokes where I'm like, "Oh, I get it. I know who's not here, and I know I sense the energy that's taken over the crowd."
Yeah.
Um, so
My
hopefully
sister,
those
yes.
holidays end soon. But we still have the a lot of people not coming here from other countries, which is a bummer. You know.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing with the um, going to Canada and stuff. We had a friend go through the Canadian um, customs.
Border. Yeah.
Yeah. And they got stopped just out of jackassery, right? And then put in a room, waited 40 minutes. And then the second person was like, why? Why were they kept? Why were you kept? You shouldn't have been kept.
By
So
Americans or Canadians?
they were kept by Canadians.
Oh,
Hey, did
right.
you miss that in the chat?
No, I wasn't sure, and I just wanted to clarify. Yes, I saw that. No, I know. I know.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, because when Jenna Friedman came back from Vancouver, it was the American customs agent who asked uh if she
About
made politicians, and she got it
Mm.
was a weird sort of question, you know.
Right. And he
Um,
might have been riffing or trying to be funny, but
no,
whenever
Jackie.
you tell them you're a comic, it's just a devastation of trying to figure out if they're,
Oh,
you don't want to say it. And then you're like, oh, they're going to say something and try to be funny. It's all very exhausting.
well,
Um,
Jackie, I'm going to visit my son overseas in October, and when I return to Americans, if they ask me who I write for, what shall I say?
right. You could just
Um,
say you do stand up in New York
mhm,
because that is also true.
mhm,
Or just stand up. Yeah.
mhm.
People always, when people, I'm holding this phone. Anyway, you know how people are always like, well, where do you do it? I'm like, do you have a step stool that I can stand on? Because that's where
Yeah,
I
I'll
would
come
do
to your
it.
house. Yeah.
You're right. One on one. So I go to New York this week.
I think I'm gonna stop by the after my set on Friday. Because when's your guys' second show? Is it
I think it
what are
starts
your
at
shows on?
10.
Yeah.
That's
So my set's like in the 9 o'clock area. So I can get there.
by the
I
end.
might be able to get there by 10:15.
Okay. Wow.
Just watch. Can you leave a space for me?
Yeah, I'll leave your name at the door. You could just come
Okay,
backstage.
cool. Cool,
I think it'll
cool.
be easier.
Yeah.
Joelle wanted to have lunch. I have a bunch of friends from college who still live in New York. I've been like, yes, I can do whatever you want, but remember it's 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So, um, and then we're doing Port Washington, Long Island. The Bell House is a Live Nation gig.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's doing the Port Washington one, and I cannot get my agent to tell me. For some reason, there seems to be. It's very cryptic.
Why do you need to know?
Because because my previous agent had made a deal where the venue was paying me, so Maria didn't have to. And so I'm trying to figure
Oh.
out if that's what is currently happening. Because I would like, you know, I like to know who I'm working for. And I'm not. doesn't have to, I'm clearly not thinking through to Saudi princes, but I'd like
Hmm.
to at least know who the contact is and when I'm getting the check and,
Right.
who the check is coming from. Does
Of
anyone
course.
need my W-9? How we doing? And
Right.
so to not have that information is slightly maddening for me. It's
I
actually is,
gotcha.
yeah. Um, I was talking to James Adomian last night, and we were talking about trying to do this black box,
Yeah.
like just work black boxes.
Right. Right.
And we've got some theories, but let's take a second break. And we're
Right.
back, ladies and germs.
Can you expound on your theories, or is this a private
Yes, please.
conversation?
Um, well, there's a guy who might do it professionally.
Oh, like book them?
Yeah, like help. And
Okay.
and he's good at it.
Oh,
Mm.
You know that guy.
yeah.
He
Please
says he was thinking about
take a percentage. Please.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Mhm. Yeah. So he is a comic, so I don't think he wants to, I don't he's like if I do it, I'll be sort of not doing as much stand up. This will be like the day gig, but I'm really watching people fight this fight is really annoying and I think I
It's
can fix it.
Yes, yes, please.
That's
Maybe
the
that's where
future
you
of stand-up, like the
Yeah,
black
and then
boxes.
he can make some good money and he's good at it.
Hell yeah.
Please
And
help.
honestly, you can open for me. Come on along.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I mean, if you want, if you, if you're booking it, you should get to do the towns as well. And you should get
Of
to
course.
cherry pick the gigs that you want to open for people
Absolutely. Have
just
at.
because he's a really good comic too.
Yeah.
So it's not like it would be hard to
But
have him open.
comics of our era, when it producing was seen as something bad comics did to get stage
Right.
time. And
Right.
so it's still like, oh yeah, good comics can actually be good at the business too. It doesn't mean you get less funny.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I mean, it's a real pity that things were vilified so badly, right?
Yes. Yes.
Including who was I talking to about classes, right? Taking comedy classes and how back in the 80s and even all the way up to like the mid late 90s, if you took a class, there was like all this just stigma attached to it. Or if you taught a class, you were like, oh, you're just taking money from people who could just go to open mic. But I remember, maybe I've told you this story, but in the early 90s in Minneapolis, there were two people who mostly taught stand-up classes, one of whom did no harm at all, and the other one kind of did harm. The one
Right.
who did no harm at all, she wasn't good at stand-up comedy. And the entire class was essentially the first class was muscle memory. Go on stage, take the mic out of the mic, move the mic stand away, set yourself. Grab the mic stand, put it back, put the mic back in. And she was like, practice actually getting on stage. And then her other thing that she taught was to write. She was like,
Yeah.
just write, and then the
Yeah.
classes will be an open mic, a safe open mic.
Yeah.
She did no harm. And
Yeah.
when people who took the class saw her do stand up, I've had more than one comic who took that class, including Dave Mordahl, say, I watched her and I was like, well, if she can do this, I can do this. You know?
Right.
The other guy, the other person was a comic and he defined stand-up comedy and he defined what was funny.
Uh,
So that I think did some harm.
yeah. We had one sex predator in the San
Oh,
Francisco scene that I studied with for a couple years. And then the other guy, well, from my experience, was not a predator, but then I heard someone else go, and I was like, oh, fuck him too. Can I believe in nobody? But anyway, that's the thing. It's a little, it always seemed dodgy to me, but then I see like really good comics teaching comedy writing and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. I mean, if you're interested, and obviously, I don't know if the business can sustain as many people who want to do comedy. I mean, it's way too popular, and I don't know that there's an audience for as many people that want to do it. But
it'll
um,
crash and
you
people will
know,
weed off, of course. But I love that Solange is teaching at Yale.
Mhm.
that's crazy. I
Oh my
love it.
God.
That's
It's
really
not.
cool.
So she went to Yale And the
Yeah.
fact that she's, that they can have her back and have teach this course in stand-up comedy is amazing. And
Is
her
it a
name,
full-time job? Or
yes, well, it's a full semester. I don't know if
Yeah.
she doesn't have
wow.
tenure or anything, but I
She's
don't
like,
know
yeah,
if
guest teacher for the semester.
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how cool.
And I was talking to somebody, whoever I was talking to about this class, we were saying, you know, Laura House teaches a storytelling class over at the
Oh,
Crow.
Laura,
I would take any
I
class from Laura
I
House.
know. I know. She's like milk and honey. She's just so good and so smart, and her voice is so soothing. She makes you feel like you do anything. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would take that class without a doubt.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I should. There are things that I should be. I have a couple of friends who are taking like art classes,
Yeah.
and Andy and I are doing Pilates together. We're taking semi-private
Pilates
Pilates
is
classes.
so fucking hard.
It's really hard. And I was taking it one-on-one as PT, and it
Okay.
actually helped my shoulder and my knee
Yeah.
amazingly. So Andy had some problem with his ankle, and I was like, "Would you want to do this?" And so now we're taking this semi-private class, and he's just in better shape than I am. So she's kind of ramped it up a little bit, and so it's been a sweat factory, but it's still slow. That's
Yeah.
what I like about Pilates and the reformer machine, is
Yeah.
that it's slow and it's, targeted and it's not, it doesn't hurt. You work out
Yeah.
as your muscles are aware that they worked out, but it's not I once had a private, trainer once. He's what screwed up my knee. He was like,
Oh.
push yourself." And so this Pilates reformer business has really helped.
Yeah, I signed up for 10 classes at this nearby Pilates studio. It's called Legree. I don't know the different they all, different names, whatever.
And it's a
But
class.
yeah, I will be on this thing and shaking. My body is shaking and I'm laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I just want to say, hey, I'm a good swimmer, everybody. I'm a good swimmer and I can beat all of you in a pool. Now, yes, my body is shaking. Like I'm in my own personal earthquake. Everyone else is like doing everything. Oh my God. It's so wild, you know?
Did you ever see that interview with the American basketball player at the Olympics who talked
Mm-mm.
about how he could beat other guys on his teams in swimming? Because he went to
Oh,
the
really?
swim match and they asked him, if he thought he could beat the woman who was swimming. He's like, no, 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 I could
Yeah.
beat the other guys on my basketball team in a swim. I mean, some of them I don't even know if they can swim.
Right, right,
I can
right.
totally beat those guys. But the Olympic ladies, the woman who swim, no.
No, no,
Don't be ridiculous.
yeah. I went swimming right before this. The asphalt green is this great pool I was telling you about, but
Yeah.
I had to swim before this, and there's only 3 lanes open for adults, and it's like, and then the other 5 lanes are age groupers, like at least 5 or 6 kids per lane, and
Wow.
it is so wavy. I mean,
All
and it was a
right.
mess. Like and then the lane with adults, it was always at least 3 of us, and so we're always swimming around. It was like fucking exhausting just getting around, and the pool was so wavy. But I love being around that age grouper energy. They're
Yeah.
just pounding that shit out, And they're
Yeah.
so fast. I'm like, for like 5 seconds, I was as fast as a 12-year-old, and then she zoomed past me. I'm like, come on.
That's cool. I want to tell people that I'm working for Maria and with Maria and working on this. I've decided I'm just doing the first 20 minutes of my new special, which,
Yeah.
by the way, there are still tickets for the second show. I made a joke, when I was in Madison, Minneapolis
Yeah.
earlier this year, that the reason I was performing in Portland, that the only requirement was that the National Guard had to be deployed in whatever city I went to.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll be in Portland November 8th. And I said, and by November 8th, the Army should be in every city. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Um, but I'm doing Brooklyn with Maria Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we're doing Port Washington, Long Island. And then I'm home, I think, for a day and a half, and then I go to Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas with Maria. And then I'm home for a couple of days of a tentative Comics Unleashed recording.
Ooh, all right. All right.
And then I'm flying to Madison, Wisconsin. Andy's doing, there's a game convention in Madison, Wisconsin, the week of the 15th called Game Hole. Get it? Nope.
I do. I
Uh,
do. It's as
it's
dirty as you
tabletop.
guys get.
It's tabletop and board games. He's running his 2 games. One's called The Hero Instant. He's doing a
Yeah.
murder mystery thing based on the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And he's doing Time Empire, which is his board game. He's running playtests of that at Game Hall Con in Madison the week of the 15th through the 20th. And then I am at Comedy on State on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. And then the week after that, I'm in Bend, Eugene, and Portland with Maria. And then the week after that, in October, I'm doing a domestic abuse benefit in Appleton, Wisconsin, for a domestic abuse group. So that's a benefit in there the day before Halloween. And I'm going to fly home very, very quickly so that I can hand out candy because it's Andy's favorite thing. And then the week after that, I'm doing Vancouver with Maria, but then I'm filming my my special in Portland, Oregon at the Siren Theater, November 8th. Come to that.
Cool.
Come to that.
Have you figured out your set stuff yet?
No.
I mean, the backdrop and everything?
Oh, that stuff. No, we're closer. We're closer, and I've ordered some toddler made clothing for possible to wear. And then I just have to get makeup and hair for Portland, and Virginia Jones knows a couple of people, and I haven't contacted them yet, but I'm going to. And
Okay.
yeah. And then after that, I'm back on the road. People are like, when are you touring? Hush. I'm always touring. But I'm doing Rapid City, and then I'm doing Wyoming, Boulder, and Fort Collins. And then it's the end of November. So
All right. Well, I'm if I can interrupt your soliloquy of dates. Jackie,
well, you and your day job and your insurance, you knocked yourself out. Tell me about your dates.
I'm gonna be at the Denver Underground in November, and also Laughs in Seattle the weekend after Thanksgiving. So if you are in Denver, that's the only time I'm coming to Denver. Okay, and I'm working the Underground. It's a cool little gig. Every comic I know who's worked it, including Jackie, really likes it.
Super
And
fun.
come out. I mean, I love anything that's underground. To me, those are the best kind of clubs. My favorite. I don't like these above ground clubs they keep building. Go under. All right. We should be like little rats in a hole enjoying our dark, awful thoughts. So please come out to those. And in December, the 19th and 20th, I believe I will be in Chicago at the Comedy Plex. So those are my the rest of my 2025 dates, and I have more. 26, I will start memorizing those and talking about them next week.
Does Cincinnati, is that Hilarities that's underground?
No.
Okay. Something is underground. I went down steps. I can't remember. It's in Ohio. I never get to work Ohio. So if anybody is booking Ohio, turns out I'll come.
Well, I mean, maybe if that's a black box thing, we figure out, you know?
Yeah. I've done a couple of black boxes there, but
Yeah.
I think I've got my 26 might be that. I'm working a bunch with Maria and a little bit
Yay.
with, though he's doing less dates. And but I'm just contacting clubs because my agent isn't
Won't.
filling my dates. So I have to fill my dates because I enjoy living indoors, you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm going to want to keep doing that. That's the important part. What else? Oh, my closer. I'm also, I noticed last night when I did it, I'm setting up all 3 jokes at the beginning of the first joke. Nobody wants that. Set up the joke, do the joke. Set up the
Okay.
next joke. Do the joke.
Yes.
Set up the
Break
third
it down.
joke. Third joke. Get the fuck out of Dodge. There's absolutely no need to set up 3 jokes that are going to be turned into tracks. Weirdo.
Well, I'm glad you figured it out before the special, Jackie. It's always good to
No.
figure that stuff out early, not the day after.
No kidding. Yeah. Dominic Del Bene and Nick Hornby are being incredibly cool. And I just
Yeah.
have to initiate contact. Oh, and I hired Robert Hack's going to do my album cover.
Jackie, can we save it for next week? Because we're at an hour.
We aren't. We're 2 minutes shy, aren't we?
No, it says to me, it says an hour and 36 seconds and counting.
Well, let's get counting. Okay, bye.